get worried about that. You've got to be doing both
Say
at
that
once.
again, what you just said
Well,
before.
sometimes it's good just to release the emotion and just get back to being absolutely precise and exact about she's thinking back, what happened? I went there, I did this. And I felt up there. No, just do it again, because it's so lovely. And don't be put off by that. Don't try for anything. Just do it.
Nay, sure, he's not in hell. He's in Arthur's bosom, if ever man went to Arthur's bosom. A made a finer end and went away, and it had been any christom child. A parted even just between 12 and 1, even at the turning of the tide. For after I saw...
Just do it one. That's great. Just do it one. Just take a little bit more space between each thought. Okay. It'll be helpful.
Nay, sure, he's not in hell. He's in Arthur's bosom, if ever man went to Arthur's bosom. A made a finer end, and went away, and it had been any christom child. A parted even just between 12 and 1, even at the turning of the tide. For after I saw him fumble with the sheets, and play with flowers, and smile upon his fingers' end, I knew there was but one way. For his nose was as sharp as a pen, and a babbled of green fields. How now, Sir John, quoth I? What man, be of good cheer? So I cried out, God, 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 3 or 4 times. Now I, to comfort him, bid him I should not think of God. I hoped there was no need to trouble himself with any such thoughts yet. So I bade me lay more clothes on his feet. I put my hand into the bed and felt them, and they were as cold as any stone. Then I felt to his knees, and so upward, and all was as cold as any stone.
Oh, brilliant, yes.
No, I didn't quite
Can you
get
feel
it.
it's beginning to come together?
Yeah,
Your feelings from the beginning and that thing, you know?
Yeah,
that's great.
Pick up and go on its own now.
Yes, it's really
holding.
lovely, and it's not to say don't have emotion, but it's just the emotion just has to has got to come from you can't suppress it any longer. Do you see? Rather than start out being emotional. Does that make sense? Yes.
It makes it more devastating that it isn't emotional. If it's when you did it that time, it was quite sort of straight. And in a way, it's much more moving because what she's saying is so personal. What happened to her? That's enough in a way. The simpler it is in that way, the more upsetting it is because people do that, don't they? If something terrible's happened to them, there's a kind of weird calm they have about them. The way they describe in detail what happened.
Exactly, yeah. I mean,
but also it's like a well-told story, or if you're telling a joke, you don't want to be kind of going, you're going to really like, this is a really funny joke, it's really funny. So when you read it actually the last 2 times, I felt like I was you, or that I was standing next to you as you were taking me through this journey, and therefore your pain at the end was a surprise.
When people die, and somebody says, were you there? And then you start saying, yeah, and he was, and how was he? And somebody tells the story of how this person died. Yes. It's generally never, oh, he was just,
it's afterwards that happens,
it's afterwards.
Yeah.
And you're drawn into the woman because of the incidental stuff she tells you.
You have to define that, don't you, to keep yourself sane,
Those are things that people can share.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone can think, oh, he looked like that, and he said that, and it's a way in for everybody.
Smiled at his fingers end.
Yeah.
I think it's what I was thinking too strongly of character when I was beginning, thinking this woman's different than me, and I have to...
Don't say that.
I love the idea of his nose being as sharp as a pen.
Yeah.
It's so vivid, and
I didn't understand what that was in the beginning, but you used to tell me it was because it was so cold.
yes.
Is that
like
right?
crazy things that people remember about
Yeah.
people, but people who've died, you explain them in a funny way that make you laugh almost.
I remember when the Piper Alpha oil rig blew up in Scotland, and they were talking to the guys who had survived. And one guy, when he was describing how he survived, the way he described it was, he said, I did a beautiful swan dive off of the shelf. And I thought, that's incredible that you're running and there's the whole panic and you're running to save your life. And what you most remember is that it was a beautiful swan dive. So imagine this guy kind of going, there's flames blowing up, you know, people are dying, his friends are melting in front of him, and he runs to the edge. And what he remembers is how beautiful his dive was. And it was just incredible. And that, you know.
That says everything, doesn't it, about where somebody is at. It's that where that, you know, where our images are at.
What helped about the exercise for me is, I know if I'm describing a death, which I did yesterday with Tony Goldwyn, we were both in the room when somebody died, it's such a precious, bigger than human experience. It's almost like you wouldn't dare say, and then this happened. You feel like I have to be a perfect channel for this and not interpret, because it's so much bigger than I even get, that I'm going to tell you what the room looked like, what it felt like, and you know, I wouldn't dare get in the middle of it, and that's, I think, why the simpler it was, the more it was unbearable.